One of the biggest things that I've been waiting for personally is the refresh of the Model S and the Model X from Tesla. And in my opinion, this could have been seen as a pretty big catalyst for a potential recovery in Tesla stock back to where it was, say, even at the beginning of this year, well above $300 per share. Not only that, it would also bring a lot more excitement back to their original high-end premium brands, the Model S and the Model X, which have been suffering a bit lately. However, late last night on Twitter, Elon Musk's favorite forum to, speak to the world about his ventures on Tesla, he did state that there will not be a remodel or refresh coming for the Model S or Model X anytime soon. Now, as an investor in Tesla stock, this has me a bit concerned. And if you read his tweet here, it's pretty much asked by a user, when is the Model X refresh coming? He didn't even refer to the Model S, but in his reply, Elon Musk explicitly says that one isn't planned for either the Model X or Model S, and that only minor changes will be made on these cars. So as Tesla shareholders, should we be worried? Should we start looking to selling our Tesla shares? Maybe we're going to see a lot more downside and volatility in the stock because of this news. So we're going to look into this stuff today. We're going to answer some of these questions, and I think without further ado, let's get into it. So now, just for some background here, the Model S started production around 7 years ago, and the Model X started production around 4 years ago. And for most manufacturers out there, the industry norm is typically you get sort of a refresh every 4 years, and you get a completely new redesigned model every 8 years. Now, it's not always the case. There's some situations that are extreme where they completely redesign the car and people absolutely hate it. So then they go back and they redesign it again instead of waiting for that whole 8 years. And according to this cycle, the Model X right now should be due for some sort of refresh, maybe, the headlights changing, taillights changing. That's what a lot of manufacturers do here, just to make it a little bit more modern and a little bit different from the older cars. And the Model S should be gearing up for a pretty major refresh next year because it'll be entering its 8th year of production. So why is Tesla not focused on this, and why is this not a priority for them? It's simple. It's because their focus right now is on the Model 3 and the upcoming Model Y. As tweets like this come out, it really reassures me, and it kind of makes it crystal clear to me that Elon Musk and Tesla are laser focused on Model 3 and Model Y, both ramping up production and selling as many cars as possible. Although margins are most likely higher on the Model S and X, that's no surprise, the cost on these cars make it very difficult for the average person to afford it, which in turn means that Tesla's going to have a very hard time selling thousands upon thousands of these cars every single month. The Model 3 and the upcoming Model Y, on the other hand, are the complete opposite. They're designed for the masses, they're designed to sell as many as possible, and they're designed to help Tesla get as much market share out there as they can. And this, of course, all being a very luxurious car that has very impressive stats and speeds and all that kind of stuff, but it still doesn't break the bank. So it attracts a lot of people out there who are just shopping for a new car for an everyday commute. And over the last year or so, Tesla has ramped up production on their Model 3s to now bring in almost 80,000 Model 3s being delivered every single quarter. And in my opinion, Tesla recognized early on that no matter how good and how futuristic the Model S and X are, the Model X with the wing doors and pretty much the only car out there that people can go purchase that's electric, so futuristic, has all these cool things that it can do, but at the same time, the problem with that is that it just cannot scale the way Tesla needs it to. There just isn't, unfortunately, enough of a market out there for people to afford those cars. And if Tesla really wants to be one of the top manufacturers in the world, they need to sell a cheaper car, which is what they've been doing with the Model 3 and the Model Y. Remember, the whole point of an electric car here is to get it to the masses, to get as many people using it as possible, because that's what's going to help drive Tesla to a much larger company. As I covered in a recent video, the number of Model S's and the number of Model X's being sold on a quarterly basis is decreasing year over year, which supports his thesis that affordability is an issue. Many, including myself here, were hoping for a refresh to help boost sales, but it seems like Tesla is going the other direction and investing heavily on their affordable cars. And like I said, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe Tesla actually sees the long-term vision here. They want to get as many cars on the road as possible to gain that market share, which in turn will raise their company value to 100 billion, 200 billion, maybe even up to 500 billion. And really, they don't quite have the resources, in my opinion, to put into redesigning or refreshing these more expensive cars like the Model S and the Model X. And in a way, that's kind of a blessing in disguise because it forces them to focus more on their budget cars. Now, I do think that the media is going to spin this as a very negative thing. They're going to say, why aren't they spending money to refresh these cars? They don't have any money out there. It's going to come back to the whole money issue on their balance sheet. And if this does happen and the stock starts correcting again, we know what happened last time. We rebounded pretty hard, and I think it's going to happen again the second time around. So does this mean it's time to sell Tesla stock now? Absolutely not. If you're in Tesla stock right now and you're a long-term shareholder, you're most likely betting on the fact that Model 3 and Model Y, along with their full self-driving system, is what's going to drive this company to a multi-$100 billion market cap. Maybe initial investors that got into the company many years ago were banking on the Model S and the Model X driving this company to a large market cap, but that ship has long sailed, and it's clear now where the market truly is for electric cars. Tesla recognizes that, and Tesla is attacking that head on. And really, objectively speaking, the Model S and the Model X are beautifully designed cars. They still look very futuristic, and they're still amongst one of the fastest cars on the road today. However, affordability is a reality, and that is why Tesla had to change what they were doing with the Model S and X to bring us the Model 3 and the upcoming Model Y. Now, I don't think that they're never going to go out and refresh the Model S and X. I do think that they're actually going to do this probably in the next, say, 2 to 3 years or so, once they get a full ramp up of Model 3 going and Model Y going, along with the Shanghai factory and all these other moving parts that are all moving in the right direction. That's when they can start focusing now on improving design, maybe making things look a little better, and just improving on those things which may entice existing customers to go in and upgrade their Teslas. Guys, let me know if you're a Tesla owner. I myself am not a Tesla owner. Currently, in my living situation, it doesn't make sense for me to go purchase an electric car, but I'm sure in the future, if I do look into an electric car, which I may at some point, Tesla will be at the top of that list. And do you think that this decision here by Elon Musk to not refresh these two cars is going to make or break the company going forward? Let me know in the comment section down below as well. I'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to invest positively, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.